Hey there, it's Guy with a mic here. When I first heard about Fantastic Four, the first steps, I had mixed feelings. Marvel's recent output has been kind of shaky. At the time, Ant-Man and the Wasp came out and it didn't do it for me, and then there was Thor Love and Thunder that followed with it, and it caused more confusion than clarity. But then came Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, which was a return to form. But it still felt like Marvel had prioritized quantity over quality for a while now. So when this new Fantastic Four movie was announced, I wasn't exactly hyped, I was hesitant. Marvel's track record with the Four hasn't been great. 2005 was fun but flawed, and 2015 was...
Say that again?
It's fantastic.
But then I started to see more sneak peeks and trailers and promo, and with every drop my curiosity turned into excitement. But there was that little voice in my head saying, what if it's just mediocre? But I reminded myself, Matt Shakman made WandaVision, arguably one of the best things to come from the Disney Plus series. And the cast looked stacked, and I thought, alright, if Thunderbolts is still up in the air, maybe this could be the thing that turns things around. And man, was it fantastic.
Say that again?
Fantastic Four, The First Steps is set in Earth 838, a whole new universe dedicated to Jack Kirby's vision. It's separate from the current MCU, and that gives it room to breathe. As soon as the movie begins, the charm of this world hits you. Even though it's technically the Fantastic Four's first real movie in the MCU, you instantly feel connected to them. They feel familiar, warm, and that's something I really loved about this film.
You're gonna be the best mom in the world.
Before I dive deeper, this section is spoiler free. I'll let you know when we switch to spoilers so you can dip out and come back later if you haven't seen the movie yet. Now, the basic premise is this. The Fantastic Four need to stand up against a threat that could literally bring about the end of the Earth. I know, we've heard that before in every other comic book movie, but First Steps makes it feel different. The tone, the setting, none of that MCU humor, the way the stakes are framed, they make it work. It's like watching a Saturday morning cartoon with emotional depth. It reminded me of the Superman animated shows, where comic book logic and real emotions coexisted beautifully. What I think we've been missing in these comic book movies is that comic booky feeling. The one where you're surrounded by larger than life characters, bold colors, and heart. That's what this movie taps into. And watching it in a packed IMAX theater with people full with Fantastic Four merch, people cheering and clapping, popcorn all over the floor, that wasn't just for spectacle, but honestly for moments of emotional resonance. This isn't a good way, but it felt like a fan film with a really high blockbuster budget, and the cast and crew behind the camera and in front of the camera clearly cared. Now let's talk about cast and characters. Ebon Moss-Bachrach was the highlight for me. I didn't expect to be so moved by his performance, but he brought a certain type of charm and depth to this band that made him feel more than just a rocky tank. And that's something so endearing about this big, strong guy who just wants to feel human again. And truth be told, he's what holds the team together. He challenges Reed and Sue's decisions. He's the emotional glue of the team. And it's such a shift from his role as Richie and the Bear.
No, you get fucked.
I'm sorry, I think you can get fucked.
No, you can get fucked.
No, please, after
I insist, you get fucked.
No, please,
you get fucked. Absolutely,
No,
you get fucked
you
first,
go
and then
ahead.
I insist that you get fucked, my good man.
Because here, he's softer, gentler, still bold but wholesome, and he's the heart of gold of this story. I'll be honest, I was one of the people who thought Joseph Quinn might have been a miscast, but I'm so glad I was wrong, dude. He absolutely crushed it. He gave Johnny that classic cocky ladies man energy, but with a lot more detail and depth. He's not just a punchline anymore. There's leadership in him, growth. It reminded me of how long it took the early films to get Johnny to this level. This one just starts there. I always thought Pedro Pascal was a great choice. His range is just wild. From Joel in The Last of Us to a brilliant scientist here, He plays Reed with a mix of intellect and unpredictability. There are moments where you question his motives, and I like that. He's not a clean-cut hero, he's complicated. Sometimes reckless, sometimes he doesn't really know what he's doing quite yet. But that makes him feel real. It makes him feel more than just some guy who plays around with his science toys. Vanessa Kirby is phenomenal. Next to Ebon, she was the standout. She's the soul of this film. Her leadership, her maternal instincts, her sacrifices, they hit hard. She isn't just Reed's partner. She's the backbone of this team. Her arc in this movie had me in tears by the end. Every time she was on screen, I loved it. One of the things I kept thinking about while watching this was how different it felt from the Avengers movies. The Avengers always felt like co-workers, you know? But this felt like a family. The way they argue, the way they support each other, the way they make sacrifices for one another. It all felt genuine, and you can believe that these people love each other. Now, briefly, Ralph Ineson as Galactus, holy shit. Menacing, commanding, outstanding. And Julia Garner as Shakman, Silver Surfer, quietly devastating. Wasn't at all what I was expecting from her portrayal. I'll dive deeper into them during spoilers, but just know they left a strong impression in me. Now, there were some downsides. This wasn't a perfect film, but they aren't major to me. The CGI isn't perfect, some of the Reed stretching looked odd, and a few shots of the Thing gave off soft, clay-like textures, but the Galactus and Silver Surfer effects were phenomenal. And to be honest, it felt like some characters got trimmed. Apparently, John Malkovich was supposed to play a character called the Red Ghost, and he was heavily rumored but barely even referenced. Same with Mo-Man. Had moments where it felt like we were missing scenes, and probably due to studio edits. And yeah, honestly, I wanted more. I didn't want it to end, which honestly, it's a high praise and a good thing. Matt Shakman really nailed it. You can feel Jack Kirby's influence everywhere throughout this film. It's so vibrant, weird, loving, and bold. Everything a Fantastic Four film should be. Okay, now let's briefly talk spoilers. The film starts with Sue telling Reed that she's pregnant, and Ben figures it out very quickly. And the reveal sets everything into motion because we learn that Galactus is looking for the child, Franklin, as a possible successor to the throne. He doesn't want to consume anymore. He's tired. He likes the destruction, but he's looking for someone to carry that burden. And honestly, I love that little twist because it gives Galactus a lot more personality and character, something we haven't had before in these films, because he's not just a force of destruction, he's a being with wariness and legacy on his mind. And the final act was just incredible. I mean, Sue's last stand, pushing Galactus through the portal while protecting her child, it was honestly breathtaking and honestly one of my favorite scenes in this film, if not in the MCU. And just briefly talking about the Silver Surfer, her character was so tragic, man. I mean, nothing like I've seen before in the past iterations. She's not evil, she's just bound by duty, and there's this quiet sadness in her. Her backstory of her being chosen by Galactus to save her world from being destroyed, it hits really hard, and especially that moment where she confronts Galactus about Franklin and how he's just a baby. You know, he's innocent in all of this. There are moments where you see her character just being commanded by Galactus because it's what she was tasked to do. But in her moments with Johnny or by herself, you can see that she doesn't want to do this. She knows she's responsible for all of these deaths, but she serves a higher power. And when she saves Johnny by sacrificing herself, it was honestly heartbreaking to me because I really don't know if we're ever going to see this character again. I really hope we do, because I do think that Shakman interacting with another Silver Surfer, that being Norman Rad, could be really special, and it could give an introspect on how these two characters are so lonely, but maybe they can feed back off on one another. But yeah, it was heartbreaking, and I think she was the unsung hero of this film, and I would really love to see more of her. All in all, Fantastic Four: The First Steps is something really, really special. It's warm, it's bold, it's full of heart, and it's the kind of superhero movie you need to rewatch with family and friends. And not just for the action, the sci-fi, the explosions, but for how it makes you feel. And there are moments in this film where it's very inspired by Interstellar, and I loved it so much. It truly gave the inner me who loves science so much joy. But yeah, that's my review. A different type of video that I usually make, but I'm branching out, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Keep it chill, obviously, don't be a jerk. And as always, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you all in the next one. Thank you.